In the soft, pale blue light of dawn, I found myself standing, my bare feet resting against the cool tile of the kitchen floor. As my fingers glided over the cool, stainless steel edge of the refrigerator, I filled a glass with water. In that quiet stillness before dawn, I sensed the gravity of all that had led me to this house, this life, this fleeting moment of hard-won tranquility. In a time long past, I resided in a cozy one-bedroom apartment where each nook and cranny held the echoes of our little victories and everyday challenges. The delicate walls trembled with the rhythm of my neighbor's cooking, while the couch, burdened by time, sagged in the center as if it bore the weight of countless stories untold. Currency was a fragile enigma, where a single mislaid cent could tip the scales between vibrant fruits and vegetables, or the dreaded arrival of a late fee notice. And yet, within that confined space, I discovered my deepest joy. When my son entered the world, he turned those worn walls into the coziest nursery I could ever dream of. I'll always remember the moment he raised his small hand to gently touch my cheek, so tender, so full of trust. In that moment, trepidation transformed into an intense, unwavering affection. Your inaugural birthday unfolded amidst a whirlwind of delightful chaos. There was no grand celebration, merely a solitary cupcake, a handful of crumpled balloons, and crumbs strewn across our worn carpet. You swayed hesitantly in my direction, your little legs unsteady beneath you, and as I scooped you up into my embrace, your laughter radiated warm, like the first rays of sunshine piercing through a gloomy sky. As you journeyed through life, your wonder expanded endlessly. Why do stars twinkle, you might wonder, your voice shimmering like the very lights above in the vast night sky. I discovered the beauty of uncertainty and transformed it into a grand adventure. Lit night research escapades, journeys to the library to borrow books on astronomy, and even an unexpected telescope lesson under the stars on a rooftop. Hand in hand, we charted the heavens and wove tales amidst the twinkling lights above, exchanged tales of blunders. We encountered our fair share of chaos, a lasting mark on the living room wall, a splash of food dye that painted your tongue in vibrant chartreuse, and an abundance of cereal spills that I'd rather keep to myself. Every calamity concluded with laughter, hurried embraces, and the understanding that flaws are woven into the very fabric of what renders life exquisite. In the depths of my devotion to you, I found myself teetering on the edge of losing my own identity. One morning, after a restless night, I tied my worn sneakers and ventured outside for a stroll. The morning air embraced me, and with every step I took, a flicker of something long buried ignited within me, an ember of faith in my own resilience. In the quiet of the early mornings, I wove a tapestry of routine, where reading, journaling, and gentle stretches unfolded like a serene yoga practice, preparing me for the day's unfolding narrative. Gradually, assurance began to flourish. In the realm of work, I found my voice during meetings. I welcomed new responsibilities. When my manager extended the hand of promotion, I embraced it, my heart lifted high, and yours mirrored that joy when I returned home, radiant with delight. As I put pen to paper for this house, a radiant space with creaking floors and ample room for your escapades, it felt like a dream unfolding. I moved you from one room to another, observing the way your eyes sparkled. Illuminate the path as you embrace every corner with your daring essence. It's flawless, you proclaimed, and I took your word for it. A few weekends later, I delighted you both with a charming hot tub on the patio, our little sanctuary. As the first evening unfolded, steam danced into the twilight, and you ascended with joy, your laughter echoing at the bubbling water. I settled next to you, our shoulders brushing, as we gazed up at the vast expanse of the sky. Yet, every tale finds its essence in an unexpected turn. Amidst the echoes of our laughter, a sudden sharp pinch seized a delicate slice graced the fingertip, a reminder of the tub's unforgiving metal fitting. You inhaled sharply, concern etched on your face. until I revealed the minuscule bead of crimson. And then, laughter erupted from you like a joyful melody. Mama, your flair for the dramatic is unmatched, you teased, and we melted into laughter anew. Laughter rolled through the air, resonating into the night. This journey has imparted invaluable lessons to me. Once upon a time, in a world filled with wonder, there existed a tale waiting to be told. It was a story that danced on the lips of those who dared to share it, weaving through the hearts of listeners like a gentle breeze. Each word held the power to transport souls to distant lands, where dreams took flight and adventures awaited at every turn. The magic of storytelling breathed life into the mundane, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary, inviting all to gather around and lose themselves in the enchantment of a well-spun yarn. Embrace the little triumphs, each coin tucked away, every drop of sweat shed, every stride taken toward the dream of owning a home held significance. These humble accomplishments laid the groundwork for a fresh beginning. To welcome the beauty of imperfection. Spills, scratches, and late nights are not setbacks. They are the vivid experiences that forge our strength and enrich our happiness. 3. Embrace the wonder. Side by side, your ceaseless inquiries transformed mundane moments into grand adventures. Growing together, crafted moments I'll hold dear for all time. Emphasize the importance of connection. Our most powerful moments were never defined by flawless schemes or extravagant acts, but rather by genuine exchanges of laughter, moments of connection, and the art of being truly engaged with one another. Progressing onward with optimism. As the sun's first rays gently warm my back, and you dash down the hallway, I come to understand that our tale is only just starting. New challenges await us, along with school plays, scraped knees, and the vibrant dreams of youth. Yet, we possess the essential tools to navigate these moments: love, laughter, and the unwavering belief that together, we can transform any place into a true home. Here's to the dawns brimming with potential, to our beautifully flawed chaos, and to each lesson discovered in the tiniest of moments. It is in those moments, genuine, raw, and true, that transform our journey into not merely a tale to share, but a life that is truly fulfilling. I ventured out to the patio, cradling to steaming mugs with utmost care, ensuring not a single drop escaped as I placed them down. To brink of the warm waters, he was already there, reclining against the curved shell, his eyes half closed in a state of blissful ease. The gentle whisper of the jets was the only melody we required. I removed my sandals and allowed the warm water to swirl around my calves, a heat gently seeping in each weary sinew. He cracked one eye open and flashed me that effortless, well-known grin that whispered, "Welcome back." We nestled close, mugs cradled in our hands, steam swirling around us like a soft, ethereal shroud. A hush lingered for a heartbeat, easy and natural, until he finally spoke. On that perfect night, he whispered, raising his cup in a playful toast. This was essential for me. With a gentle chuckle, I leaned back and raised my mug to my lips. A delightful scent of chamomile and honey enveloped me, filling me with warmth from within. In an unexpected twist, he deftly flicked his wrist, sending a playful splash of water my way. My astonishment transformed into joyous laughter as I squealed and playfully splashed him right back. In mere moments, we found ourselves engaged in a spirited wrestling match, water splashing into the night air, our laughter ringing out like music against the house. Very well, he finally admitted, pressing his hands against the edge of the tub. Victory is yours. I raised my mug to his with a victorious clink, then let out a contented sigh as I settled back into the warm embrace of the tub once again. As the night wrapped itself in a cloak of tranquility, I caught sight of a shoulder tensing ever so slightly. The playful light in his eyes dimmed ever so slightly, and for a heartbeat, I felt the flicker of concern that I might have overstepped an unseen boundary. "Are you all right?" I inquired, my tone gentler this time. He gazed at his mug, letting his fingertip glide along the room. Apologies for that. My intentions were never to let the shadows of my mood take center stage. His apology floated softly through the air. A mere whisper, and yet the truthfulness within it unlocked a passage. I extended my hand and brushed against his arm gently. Our laughter brings me so much joy, I expressed. The serenity of silence holds a special place in my heart as well. Speak your desires, and they shall be heard. He lifted his gaze, sincerity shining in his eyes, and offered me a faint, grateful smile. The tension evaporated as swiftly as it had arrived. We sank into a hush, not the uncomfortable sort, but the kind that wraps around you like a warm embrace, familiar and comforting. I leaned with his head resting gently on my shoulder. He wrapped an arm around me, creating a moment of warmth and connection. In the gentle embrace of the patio light, we allowed the night to envelop us. Deep within, I sensed the resonance of each little triumph, every dawn that broke with my early strolls, each new lesson discovered, every word spoken aloud beneath a cozy blanket on that well-worn couch. I reminisced about winters spent cozily wrapped in fur blankets, watching cherished old cartoons. I recalled the first time he asked me to teach him to fish and the afternoons we painted walls together. Our brush strokes delightfully crooked yet full of life. This marked the peak of all those moments. Not ideal, yet distinctly ours. The following morning, I discovered myself reliving the moments of the previous night before I even opened my eyes. Gazed as the first light of dawn painted the world in gentle hues. I found myself recalling the fleeting moment when his eyes met mine. A brief connection before he turned his gaze elsewhere. The subtle, nearly concealed spark of focus caused my heart to constrict and my mind to spin in a whirlwind of thoughts. I pondered whether it was purity, or perhaps something deeper. As we shared breakfast, I noticed him gazing once more, taking care to keep it subtle. A rush of excitement coursed through me as he swiftly glanced back at his coffee. The warmth of his gaze, familiar yet shifting, ignited a wave of emotions within me: curiosity, excitement, and a gentle warmth that blossomed from my chest to my fingertips. Mornings had always been our sacred ritual. Me in the kitchen flipping pancakes, him as the orange juice flowed. We found ourselves in those serene moments, savoring the stillness before the day unfolded in all its glory. Yet, in recent times, each ordinary action seemed to shimmer with potential. As he extended his hand toward the sugar jar, his fingers lightly grazing against mine, I found myself momentarily halted in my stirring. The light-hearted banter in his voice as he presented me with a single pancake, a nod to our shared memories, stirred a sense of nostalgia. Recall the cherished moments of our first breakfast shared together. The extra second he lingered while handing me my mug felt like an eternity, each moment stretching out just enough for my heart to skip a beat. It felt like our collective traditions were being transformed, laden with unspoken meanings in each gaze, every caress and every subtle smile. That afternoon, I stepped out of the house to tend to my errands. Yet my thoughts lingered on his silent expressions and the palpable tension that ebbed and flowed between us. Upon my return, I was resolute in my quest to illuminate the unspoken truths. I discovered him in the living room, lacing up his sneakers, preparing to venture out on his own. I lingered in the doorway, my heart pounding with anticipation. "Shall we have a conversation?" I inquired, my voice more composed than the turmoil within me. He paused and pivoted, gently placing his bag to the side. The inquiry lingered, pure and straightforward. He nodded with a deliberate slowness, as if savoring the weight of each moment. "Indeed," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. We perched on the edge of our bed, side by side, yet a sliver of space lingered between us. I extended my hand toward him, sensing the well-known calluses that spoke of his daily toil beneath the gentle veil of his skin. As I began, I sensed a change in the air. "I see the glances you cast, the way our time together has unfolded over these past weeks. I'm not sure if it's just my imagination, that I'd prefer to be truthful rather than turn it into a game of speculation. He swallowed, his gaze locking onto mine for the very first time under the bright light. It has not escaped my attention, he admitted. I felt the flutter of anxiety about speaking up, worried that I might disrupt the ease we've built, the rhythm of our days together. That revelation shattered the barrier of doubt that stood between us. For the next hour, we engaged in conversation, not about sweeping statements, but rather about the little truths that shape our lives. How our connection has grown stronger through countless serene nights and bustling dawns. In each other's presence, we find a sanctuary, a haven where safety envelops us, even as the world outside dances with uncertainty. How the spark of wonder, once aimed at the vastness of the world, had shifted to a deep exploration of one another's hearts and dreams. In that moment, there existed a gentle calm, an absence of urgency to unravel the meaning behind this transformation. There was a soft awareness that something new was blossoming, a richer sense of care, a recognition of each other not merely as companions in the routine of life, but as unique souls whose hearts still harbored delightful surprises. In the days that followed, we drew closer, each interaction infused with a fresh sense of awareness, a gentle touch on my lower back, a caring inquiry of my well-being when weariness showed on my face, and a collection of melodies that took us back to the beginnings of our journey together. Every movement conveyed a rich narrative. In a moment of mindful presence, we set aside our phones during dinner, making eye contact as if we were discovering each other anew. 2. Playful teasing. A whispered joke under the table, a shared smile across the room, little moments that felt like hidden messages. 3. Initiate dialogue. We connected each day, delving into more than just the tasks at hand and our plans. Yet, there are concerns, aspirations, and sometimes a hint of trepidation as the sun dipped below the horizon each night. The warmth of the known intertwined beautifully with the excitement of the unknown. It felt as if I was falling in love once more, but this time with someone who was already familiar with every tale I had to tell. As I reflect on our journey, I can't help but notice the transformation we've undergone. From that initial, tentative exchange of glances in a bustling space to this moment filled with serene assurance. Our tale isn't centered on flawless moments. It's woven from the delicate, exquisite pauses that lie in between. The moments of silence between words, where genuine comprehension resides. The laughter flows freely, raw and genuine. The gentle strides we took, each one paving a way that neither of us foresaw, yet both of us embraced with open hearts. In honoring each feeling, no matter how tentative, we uncovered a profound connection. In that connection resides the profound essence, the understanding that love, at its finest, serves as both anchor and sail, grounding you firmly while propelling you toward uncharted realms. At this moment, a gentle thrill courses through me as I ponder the unfolding journey ahead. New challenges await us, along with job changes, family milestones, and everyday surprises. Yet, we embrace them with fresh eyes and open hearts. Tonight, I shall venture out to the patio once more, cradling 2 mugs of tea in my hands. As we ease into our familiar routine, I'll take in every nuance, the gentle curve of the mug resting in my hand, the way his smile dances before he utters a word, and the cozy warmth that envelops us in our shared silence. And I shall hold a deep appreciation, not merely for the paths we've traversed, but for each stride we embark upon from this moment forward. He chuckled lightly when I playfully nudged him about the way his gaze had flickered to my leg. Yet, I noticed the briefest drop of his eyes before he focused back on securing the final plank in its spot. His laughter flowed like a gentle stream, warm and inviting. Yet my heart fluttered as I observed him take a step back, surveying his creation, a narrow shelf, solid and steadfast, standing proudly against the freshly painted wall. "Come on," I beckoned, sweeping away the sawdust from my tank top. You created it, so you ought to be the first to experience it. With a moment of uncertainty, he stood there, arms laden with tools, before finally placing them down, a smile illuminating his face, far too radiant for the early afternoon light. I ascended onto a nearby stool, balancing it with one hand as I settled in. With bare arms flexed, he extended his hand to steady me, our fingertips brushing for a fleeting moment, and a delicate flutter blossomed in my chest. In a fleeting moment, he found himself without a shirt, wiping the sweat from his brow. Before reaching for a fresh cup of tea, I was captivated by the grace of his movements, as if he were equally at home in a workshop and on any stage. Upon noticing my gaze, he pretended to be offended. "You've got a little issue with my carpentry," he playfully remarked, gently sweeping a strand of hair away from my face. I chuckled, a surge of confidence washing over me. Absolutely not. I truly value the art of skilled creation. As he leaned down to gather his tools, I softly murmured, "You've truly created something wonderful here." Gratitude flows from my heart. My voice trembled on the final word, and in that moment, I found myself feeling bashful beneath his inviting gaze. He adjusted his tool belt at his side, offering me that familiar half-smile that speaks volumes. What a delightful sentiment. "Someone takes note," he remarked, his voice airy. Yet within his gaze, I perceived a profound depth. Perhaps gratitude, or even a flicker of something beyond. That evening, the transformation between us resembled the final golden rays of sunset gracefully yielding to the embrace of twilight. We settled onto the back steps, chilled lemonade cradled in our hands, as the air wafted the sweet scent of jasmine from the garden. As I started to speak, my voice gently broke the silence enveloping us. "I noticed your looks today, and I think maybe we're both feeling something new." He swallowed, eyes fixed on the glowing lantern beside him. "I don't want to ruin our friendship," he admitted, "but I can't pretend this isn't different." A gentle breeze curved around us, carrying away the distance that had grown between casual teasing and genuine longing. I reached out, my hand finding his, and he didn't pull away. Instead, he curled his fingers around mine, tight and certain. Over the next days, our usual routines took on a new texture. In the kitchen, I'd find him pressing just a little closer when he passed behind me. He'd leave his jacket draped over my favorite chair, as if marking his territory in the softest way. And I, for my part, caught myself lingering at his workbench, brushing past him under the pretense of checking a measurement. One afternoon, as I loaded the dishwasher, I felt his hand rest against my hip, light, deliberate. I straightened, startled, and he met my eyes through the steam of the sink. Neither of us spoke. We didn't need words. The air between us crackled, charged by every unspoken question. Later that night, we found ourselves in the living room, the glow of a single lamp casting shadows on the walls. He sat on the sofa, and I perched at the edge of the coffee table, to familiar pieces of furniture that now felt new, charged with possibility. I stood and moved closer, heart pounding. His breath caught as I knelt beside him, placing my hand over his. The world hushed, as if holding its breath, and for one perfect moment, time stopped. Then, gently, he leaned in. Our foreheads touched, and I felt the slow, steady rhythm of his heartbeat. It wasn't a grand confession or a scripted declaration, just two souls quietly acknowledging what had been growing between them for weeks. "I've wanted this," he whispered, more than I could admit. I smiled, tears pricking my eyes. "Me too." As we sat there, no longer quite friends, not yet something defined, I realized how far we'd come. From coffee-stained mornings and paint-splattered afternoons to this gentle crossing of a new threshold, our journey had been built one small moment at a time. In the days ahead, we'll face new challenges, balancing work and life, setting boundaries and learning to speak the hard truths. But tonight, under the soft glow of the lamp, we simply held each other, grateful for the trust that had brought us here. This is our story now, a story of shared laughter, careful glances, and the courage to reach for something more. And as I rest my head against his shoulder, I know that whatever comes next, we'll face it together, one heartfelt moment at a time. He laughed off my teasing about how he'd glanced at my leg, but I caught the way his eyes dipped before he turned back to his instructions. I let the moment hang between us, a silent question mark, before stepping back when he finished fitting the last plank into place. That night, we met up with friends at a cozy pub downtown. My heart raced each time I caught him watching me, just a flicker of interest before he looked away, as if embarrassed. The laughter around us blurred into background noise. I was too aware of the unspoken tension humming between us. When a friend raised a toast, I realized how much I wanted to share this secret, this spark, with someone who might understand. But I swallowed the words, smiled, and sipped my drink instead. The next morning, I was in the kitchen wearing my favorite tank top and shorts, nothing more than a casual outfit, when he slipped in to grab a glass of water. His sharp intake of breath, the brief pauses he took in my silhouette, made my pulse flutter. "Careful," I teased. "You'll spill your drink." He pretended not to notice, then smiled sheepishly. "I don't mind a little mess." I rested against a counter, feigning a search for flour in the depths of the cupboard. He knelt beside me, his hand gently finding its way around to support my back door as our hands brushed. The world around us faded, and in that fleeting moment, time held its breath. I stood still, my heart racing, and he straightened up just as swiftly, giving me a soft, remorseful glance. We shared a laugh, yet the spark that danced between our fingertips remained unshakable and alive. In the days that followed, our familiar routines took on a fresh significance, infused with a newfound awareness. The morning coffees held a deeper richness as he poured mine, that extra pause lingering in the air, a gentle smile dancing on his lips. As the afternoon unfolds, we find ourselves weaving through paths and doorways, our lingering glances clinging to moments that stretch out longer than ever before. As the evening unfolded, the mundane tasks of loading the dishwasher and folding laundry transformed into a series of intimate dances, where every accidental brush of skin ignited a thrill within me. Yet, we danced around the silent inquiry. What unfolds next? At last, on a serene night, we settled onto the couch, the TV softly humming in the background. Yet, neither of us truly engaged with what flickered on the screen. I found myself at one end, while he occupied the other, as though we were deliberately steering clear of the distance that lay between us. The stillness deepened. "I don't know what's happening," I blurted, meeting his eyes. My voice quivered with sincerity. He nodded, his expression gentle and warm. "Neither do I," he confessed. "Yet I sense it as well." A hush descended, thick with expectation. I moved in a little closer, and he remained right there, not pulling away. As our shoulders brushed against one another, the room transformed, becoming smaller, more intimate, and filled with a palpable sense of anticipation. In that moment, every unspoken word wove itself into the rhythm of our shared heartbeat. We lingered in that moment, two souls on a couch, suspended between friendship and something deeper, as the world held its breath around us. The following moments thrummed with potential, each breath laden with the weight of what could unfold. In the soft illumination of the television, it dawned on me that whatever lay ahead, we would uncover it side by side. I rose with the dawn, a flutter of anticipation stirring within me like a restless creature eager to take flight. As the gentle light of dawn crept in, I discovered him in the kitchen, casually leaning against the counter, cradling his familiar cup of black coffee. We lingered in that moment, silence enveloping us, the space charged with all the words we had held back the night before. He was the first to shatter the stillness. "Hey," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. Then, in a softer tone, "Are you all right?" My hand quivered as I extended it toward him, and he observed me in a manner that sent my heart racing. I longed to share with him the whirlwind of emotions that engulfed me, the fear and excitement intertwining, as my mind repeatedly returned to his words, his touch, and the way our beginnings seemed both delicate and destined. Instead, I conjured a faint smile. "I'm fine," I said, though the words felt empty on my tongue. He savored his coffee, his gaze locked onto mine, as if weaving a silent tale between us. At last, he placed the mug on the table and let out a deep breath. "We must converse," he declared, a seriousness woven into his voice. I nodded, preparing myself for what was to come. We transitioned to the living room, taking our places at opposite ends of the couch, as if an invisible line of distance had been drawn between us. My fingers danced nervously at my side, while his gaze remained unwavering yet gentle. "I don't want to lose what we have," I began, my voice soft and soothing. "Yet I cannot feign that everything remains the same. I find myself lost in thoughts of your hand resting gently on my back, the way your gaze meets mine. These feelings leave me in a state of uncertainty." He gulped, his fingers weaving through his hair as he braced himself. He confessed that he felt the same. Fear has gripped me, a fear of shattering the bond we share, of stepping over a threshold that cannot be undone. A hush enveloped us, heavy with the gravity of our mutual revelation. I allowed myself to lean in, bridging the gap that lay between us. "Perhaps it's permissible to step beyond that boundary," I murmured, my heart racing louder than my own thoughts. His eyes softened, a blend of relief and longing swirling within their depths. He extended his hand, gently tucking a stray lock of hair behind my ear. "Perhaps," he conceded. As the hours unfolded, our conversation deepened, weaving a tapestry of words and thoughts. After a long stretch of time, at last, we shared our deepest anxieties, the trepidation of transformation, the dread of losing what we hold dear, and the vulnerability of revealing our true feelings. We shared our dreams, envisioning new moments crafted together, laughter that transcended mid-jokes, and a bond that was both thrilling and reassuring. As the sun reached its zenith, the strain that had kept us at a distance started to fade away. He lingered as our hands intertwined, and I chose to stay right there. We exchanged gentle smiles that seemed to mark a shared journey around the bend. Once upon a time, in a world filled with wonder and adventure, there existed a tale waiting to be told. It was a narrative woven with threads of imagination, where characters danced through the pages of life, each with their own dreams and destinies. The air was thick with anticipation as the story unfolded, revealing secrets and surprises at every turn. In this realm, every word held the power to transport listeners to places unknown, igniting the spark of curiosity and the thrill of discovery. And so, the journey began, inviting all to gather around and listen closely, for a story was about to come to life. Bravery to voice the inexpressible. Revealing the truth of your heart can be daunting, yet the weight of silence often feels more isolating than any spoken confession. Our honesty wove a bridge that united us, closing the distance that once lay between. Paying tribute to the past, we vowed to safeguard the joy, the cherished rituals, and the unwavering trust that had always characterized our bond. Those were cherished strands we promised to keep intact. Embracing the mysteries that lie ahead. Venturing into the unknown is laden with unpredictability. In that realm of uncertainty, we discovered potential. A journey into the unknown awaited us, and we were eager to embark on it side by side. For the essence of being here now. It wasn't the grand gestures that transformed us, but rather the simple acts, a lingering glance over morning coffee, a steadying hand on a wobbly step, the shared silence between two souls truly understood. That afternoon, as sunlight wove its golden threads through the living room window, we nestled together on the sofa, no longer mindful of who occupied which spot or who uttered the first word. We found ourselves in that fresh, promising realm as we strolled through the serene streets. Our hands danced close, hesitant at first, until he finally grasped mine, intertwining our fingers like two lost pieces of a puzzle finding their way back to each other. A gentle warmth unfurled from our clasped hands, cascading to my shoulders and beyond, whispering promises of all the mornings, evenings, and ordinary moments that lay ahead of us. The essence of our tale transformed, yet its core stayed unchanged, two souls intertwined by a tapestry of shared experiences, daring to embark on a fresh journey together, hand in hand, posed to create a future neither could have envisioned. In solitude as we strolled back home, a certainty washed over me. No matter what lay ahead, we would confront it side by side, one genuine heartbeat at a time. In the days that followed, we found ourselves embracing a soothing cadence as dawn broke, the air filled with the rich scent of freshly ground coffee, accompanied by the gentle chime of the coffee maker. 2 mugs sat side by side on the breakfast bar, waiting to be filled. I would blend in the cream just the way he preferred, and in return, he'd give me a warm smile that conveyed, "This is precisely the place I long to be." Afternoons blossomed with small gestures of collaboration. In those grocery runs, we would engage in lively debates about which seasonal fruits to choose, laughter echoing as one of us inevitably filled the cart to the brim. In the heart of the home, projects unfold like chapters. From the vibrant transformation of the guest bedroom to the careful assembly of furniture, conversations dance effortlessly between practical guidance and light-hearted exchanges, weaving a narrative rich with creativity and camaraderie. During those work-from-home breaks, he'd send me a quick text, asking if I needed a tea refill. There I would be, arriving at his desk with 2 steaming mugs in hand, urging him on as he faced the looming deadlines. Every task, regardless of its simplicity, seemed to shimmer with significance. We had transcended from mere individuals sharing the same space. We had become partners, weaving the tapestry of our lives together. One evening, he delighted me with a charming little stack of notebooks. Within those walls, he had crafted visions for my long-held aspiration, a cozy writing nook nestled by the window. In the warm glow of candlelight, he revealed his vision. A snug nook adorned with shelves cradling my cherished books, a spacious desk kissed by the sun's embrace, and a gentle armchair inviting quiet moments of contemplation. Emotion welled up within me. "It's exquisite," I murmured, following the delicate strokes of his pencil. "Gratitude fills my heart for your unwavering faith in me." He shrugged, feigning humility. "Your unwavering support over these past months has meant the world to me. This gesture is but a small token of my gratitude." So, I stepped forward to assist him in breathing new life into an old passion, woodworking. We transformed the garage, crafting workbenches and dedicating our Saturday mornings to mastering new techniques. Watching his eyes sparkle while he fashioned the humble birdhouse brought to mind the truth that affection flourishes when we tend to one another's dreams, honoring achievements, whether grand or subtle. Life continued its relentless march, even as our relationship began to blossom. We continued to navigate the challenges of deadlines, family obligations, and the responsibilities we held within our community. Whenever we reached a milestone, be it nailing a presentation at work or perfecting our pancake recipe, we celebrated together with joy and enthusiasm. Once upon a time, in a world filled with wonder, there existed a tale waiting to be told. Each moment held the promise of adventure, and every character had a story yearning to unfold. The journey began with a single step, leading to realms unknown and experiences yet to be discovered. With every word, the narrative wove itself into the fabric of imagination, inviting all to listen and dream. And so, the saga continued, rich with intrigue, and the magic of storytelling. One enchanting evening, he conjured up my favorite pasta salad from the depths of his memory, adorned with fragrant fresh basil and sun-dried tomatoes, and presented it on the patio, illuminated by the soft glow of string lights. On a night filled with adventure, we stumbled upon a hidden hiking trail, with a wicker basket filled with sandwiches. We shared tales of our childhoods while the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. In the stillness of our home, Sunday afternoons transformed into a gentle rhythm, where we nestled together on the sofa, lost in our books. We would pause occasionally, sharing whispers of recommendations or the warmth of a freshly brewed cup of tea, savoring the simplicity of those shared moments. These celebrations were not merely about extravagance. They were a heartfelt acknowledgement of the joys we share with one another. Indeed, every relationship encounters its trials. As fate would have it, the moment his mother fell ill without warning, he found himself caught in a heart-wrenching dilemma. Should he hasten to her side or stay the course to complete a significant work project? As the night deepened, he shared his concerns with me over steaming cups of coffee on our back porch. I extended my hand, gently placing it over his. Fear not, for we shall navigate this journey side by side. I promised him, I will handle everything here, allowing you to be by her side. United, we journeyed through hospital visits, arranged meetings, and molded our days around the rhythm of phone calls. It was a challenging journey. There were, in the midst of tearful nights and moments of uncertainty, the act of standing by him during family struggles wove our connection even tighter. As we tended to one another, we unearthed a strength within us that neither of us had realized we possessed. As spring gracefully unfolds in our backyard, the rose bushes awaken with new blossoms, while the basil and mint begin to flourishing in the planter boxes. We behold our collective future unfolding before us like a vast, open sky. We continue to chuckle when the pancake batter splashes onto the counter, playfully jabbing at one another during our morning rituals. And we still grasp each other's hands when the journey ahead feels unclear. The tale we weave is still unfolding. New abodes await to be adorned, fresh trials lie ahead, and aspirations beckon to be pursued. Yet, in each unfolding chapter, we hold tightly to the lessons we've gathered along the way, for they shape our journey. Truthfulness creates connections, that little acts nurture affection, and that genuine collaboration signifies united in the face of every peak and every valley. Side by side, with our hearts intertwined, we move ahead, thankful for each new day and every twilight, prepared to craft the chapters of our journey, one treasured memory at a time.